fight ends up being a close decision where he builds as the fight goes on and starts breaking him in the third round. Both times that seemed to happen. But Fiziev took him down in round 1. Pure striker Fiziev. Took him down in round 1 and had him in an inverted triangle. And had him there for a while. And I think he could have done a lot more work from that position if he kind of knew the position he was in. But it seemed like once Fiziev ended up there, he just started hitting the body a few times and then thought, I don't know where to progress from this position. If Pimblett ever ends up landing on Gaethje in like one of those precarious positions, it's going to be immediate, like a lat single triangle on the arm, wrench, go round to the back. It's going to be like a systematic jiu-jitsu difference that Oliveira had, but after dropping Gaethje in the first place, you know?
At the same time, analysts acknowledged Paddy's momentum and confidence, emphasizing that these moments are where careers are defined, where belief collides with experience, and where one mistake can permanently shift the narrative of an entire division.
So I'm going to go with Pimblett by submission. I think at some point he'll end up on top of Gaethje. Will that be from a takedown? I think he could if he gets the body lock. I think he could. I don't think I see him shooting single leg or a double leg on Gaethje and getting it. But if they end up brawling and he shoots in while he bounces off the cage and gets the body lock and drags him like he did to Chandler, I could see it there. I could see it happening there. I could even see him dropping Gaethje or wobbling him on the feet. Gaethje does get wobbled and dropped. He's been wobbled and dropped. He's been flatline KO'd. So it can happen to him, you know, where he ends up in that stumbly mode. And in that stumbly mode might be where Pimblett could get a takedown for a submission or a ground and pound.
With predictions split and emotions running high, this fight has become more than just a matchup, because it represents a collision of eras, styles, and philosophies. And when the octagon door closes, only one man will walk out with the truth.
The neon lights of the Las Vegas Strip fade into background as the heavy iron doors of the T-Mobile Arena swing shut, sealing an attention so thick it feels like a physical weight on the chest of every soul in attendance. This isn't just a fight. It's a collision of timelines, a biological experiment in human durability, and a psychological crash course in the limits of the human spirit. On one side stands Justin Gaethje, a man whose very name is synonymous with a specific brand of beautiful, structured carnage. On the other, the scowl sensation Paddy Pimblett.
Obviously delivered in the main event, it's capped off with a war. Just give us your thoughts on Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett delivering a 5-round battle.
Yeah, I mean, what a couple. So Paddy Pimblett at the weigh-in yesterday says, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out tomorrow. And I was like, that's interesting. And he never abandoned that game plan. Even when, you know, he got dropped a couple times, I kept waiting for him. I'm like, he's eventually going to have to shoot and try to submit him. Now, you know, I didn't know Paddy Pimblett had a chin like that till tonight. And, yeah, absolute dogfight in a war, and much respect to both guys.
We haven't seen Justin yet, so we don't know what his status is physically. But, I mean, is the interim, you know, is the unification fight have to be next? Or is there a case if he's hurt and needs to be out for a while?
Apparently he's 100%. So we sent Paddy Pimblett straight to the hospital, and then we're going to send Gaethje too.
A fighter who has turned the lightweight division into his own personal theater of chaos. The air in the arena is charged with the kind of electricity that only arrives when two men are truly willing to leave a piece of their soul inside the cage. This is the main event of the evening, a 5-round odyssey that promises to test the very foundations of what the human body can endure. The weigh-ins offer the first glimpse into the divergent mentalities. Paddy Pimblett, leaning into the microphone with that characteristic smirk, didn't just predict a win. He promised a knockout. It was a statement that made the veteran observers lean forward. Could the baddie truly put away a man like Gaethje, who has walked through fire and come out on the other side with a smile on his face? Even when Paddy has been dropped in the past, he has shown a chin that seems forged in a different era, a biological anomaly that allows him to absorb trauma that would short-circuit the synapses of a lesser man. He never abandons a game plan, never retreats from a fire. He keeps moving forward, a momentum-driven wild card whose ability to turn a technical exchange into a scramble for survival has rewritten every expectation we've ever had of him. Justin Gaethje, meanwhile, enters this arena with the stoicism of a gladiator who has already accepted his fate. To Justin,
And now our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight. 4 years apart, with similar height and some differences in reach. All right, now for the official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, a referee in charge of the octagon, Yves Lavigne. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the T-Mobile Arena.
This is a final chapter of a championship pursuit, a legacy-defining moment that he is willing to pay for in blood. He isn't interested in the money fights or the political theater of fighting at the White House. He is focused on the man standing across from him on January 24th. His philosophy is as brutal as it is simple. He does not expect to be alive after these fights. Every time he steps into that octagon, he is prepared to give everything, his health, his longevity, his very consciousness, to the cause of victory. It is a level of commitment that borders on the terrifying, a reminder that at the highest level of combat sports, the human body is merely a vessel for an unbreakable will. The physicality of this matchup is a study in contrasts. We see the tale of the tape showing a 4-year age gap, a slight difference in reach, but a massive chasm in experience. Gaethje is the proven veteran, the man who handled Tony Ferguson with a surgical precision that bordered on the gangster. As some experts have noted, his leg kicks are not just strikes. They are orthopedic nightmares, designed to dismantle the structural integrity of an opponent's movement. He uses a jab that snaps with the force of a piston, and his strategy of putting his head in an opponent's chest to negate their reach is a masterclass in close-quarters warfare. He knows that Paddy is weird, awkward.
Listen, Paddy says he's been preparing for you like he prepared for the Michael Chandler fight. Is that a mistake, and why is this different from Chandler?
Well, you obviously seen me fight Chandler. I have, better skills, and I beat him. But I don't care what he says, what he thinks. If he thinks I'm Michael Chandler, again, it goes back to my first statement. I love everything he's saying right now.
And last one, your manager said he would like to see you fight Conor McGregor at the White House. At this stage in your career, would you take the money fight, or would you be focused on the undisputed title next?
I'm only focused on Paddy Pimblett, January 24th. How many times do I got to say I don't expect to be alive after these fights? I go in there willing and ready to give everything, and that's the same. I'll be on the White House card no matter what. Who I'm fighting doesn't matter.
Some critics think you don't have enough experience for a title fight. What is the fight that earned you this title shot?
Winning my last fight, being on a 7-fight win streak, the longest in the lightweight division. The critics can stick it up their asses. I'm the one who's fighting for the belt.
And a puzzle that must be solved in the opening minutes. But Gaethje is a builder of momentum. He doesn't just fight. He accumulates pressure until the dam finally breaks. As we look at the physiological toll this kind of high-level violence takes on the cardiovascular system and the central nervous system, it's clear that these athletes are operating on the absolute edge of human capability. Understanding how the body recovers from such extreme stress is vital for anyone interested in the peaks of human performance. If you want to dive deeper into the science of human endurance, the mechanics of recovery, and how the body handles the most intense physical challenges imaginable, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We provide the scripts, the visual breakdowns, and the deep dive insights into the health and biology of the human body that you won't find anywhere else. Join our community as we explore what it truly means to be human under pressure. Now, as the narrative shifts back to the cage, the shadow of Khabib Nurmagomedov looms large, but Paddy Pimblett is quick to dismiss the comparison. He isn't trying to be the next Khabib. He is the first Paddy. He argues that while opponents knew exactly what Khabib was going to do, his own game is a proper weird puzzle that defies conventional logic. He thrives in a hostile environment, feeding off the doubt of critics who say he hasn't earned his spot. With a 7-fight win streak at his back, the longest in the division, he tells the skeptics exactly where they can stick their opinions. He isn't here to do backflips and risk breaking his neck. He's here to dance, to crack on, and show the world that his ground game is a systematic jiu-jitsu trap that no one is prepared for. The experts are split right down the middle. Israel Adesanya points to Gaethje's jab and his mid-range dominance as the keys to victory. He sees Gaethje as a different beast, a highlight reel that doesn't get tired and doesn't get discouraged. On the other hand, voices like Michael Bisping see a path for Paddy to find submission in the chaos. They point to the Rafael Fiziev fight, where Gaethje was taken down and held in precarious positions. If Paddy can secure a body lock, if he can drag Gaethje into those deep, dark waters where the lungs scream for oxygen and the muscles burn with lactic acid, he might just find the opening he needs for a systematic finish. The tension in the T-Mobile Arena reaches a fever pitch as Bruce Buffer's voice booms through the rafters. The face-off is a gasoline-soaked fire. Neither man blinks. Neither man yields an inch of ground. The body language tells a story of two predators who truly believe the other is walking into a trap they cannot survive. Justin wants to drag Paddy into the 4th and 5th rounds to test his mettle in the championship segments where the heart is the only thing that keeps the legs moving. Paddy, however, is convinced it won't go that long. He believes he will put a beating on the legend like he's never had before, a performance of one-way traffic that will silence every doubter in the building. The strategy for Gaethje is clear. Be Gaethje. Use the leg kicks to sap the explosive power from Paddy's base. Use the jab to dictate the range. But he must be careful, because as the analysts warn, Paddy hits harder than people give him credit for. One crack, one wobble, and the momentum can shift in a heartbeat. This is a battle of inches, a battle of milliseconds, and a battle of sheer, unadulterated will. Justin claims he will dog-walk the newcomer if he lasts long enough, while Paddy insists that the fire in the old dog is about to be extinguished by the relentless energy of the new breed. As the referee Yves Levine signals for the action to begin, the world holds its breath. This isn't just about rankings or titles anymore. It's about the disrespect mentioned in the press conferences, the comments about Dustin Poirier looking like rubbish against Max Holloway, and the underlying feeling that these two men simply cannot exist in the same division without one trying to break the other. The talking is over. The psychological warfare has reached its conclusion.